आदरणीय पूर्व प्रधानमंत्री श्री मनमोहन सिंह जी, इस कार्यक्रम का संयोजक श्री अनिल शास्त्री जी, डॉक्टर डी.के. श्रीवास्तव जी, सम्मान अवार्ड ग्रहीता श्री फाली नारीमन जी, श्री सुनील शास्त्री जी, नीरा शास्त्री जी, आदर्श शास्त्री जी और शास्त्री जी का परिवार का अन्य लोग जो यहाँ मौजूद है, संसदगण और अन्य महान भाव और बहनों और भाइयों, मैं सचमुच में बहुत प्रसन्न हूँ. आई फील वेरी हैप्पी टू बी इन दिस प्रोग्राम. वन, I have highest admiration for Lal Bahadur Shastri ji from my student days. Second, I also have great admiration to Sri Fali Nariman, who is one of the eminent jurists of India. I could see him and watch him and hear him from near quarters because I also happens to be in Parliament for some time, and always used to carefully hear his interventions. Always interventions used to be very brief but very effective, and also used to see his reactions on public issues. We always feel proud of these great eminent jurists, whether it is late Farkiwala ji or even Nariman ji now. These people have really made Indians proud because of their knowledge and wisdom. So that's why I felt really happy when Anil Shastri ji came to me and told me that we will have this function. I told him, please let us have it here in my house because it's a new addition. As Anil ji has said that Vice President going out, whether you like it or not, there is a lot of paraphernalia, protocol, disturbance to others. And also programs outside means costly also. So I immediately thought, after becoming Vice President, after understanding my responsibilities and role, then I talked to my people and told them, let us have a bigger hall in the house itself. Then they said all this LBZ and all, routine zone, permissions and all. I talked to the officials concerned and then got this hall constructed within 3 months, in a record time. This is all done through free fabrication, not by regular thing, by a company in Pune. I told them also, your name also will go down in the history, do it at earliest and at a cheaper rate. So he did it at 1/3 of the government cost. So I am very happy about it, and that's being put to proper use. Shastri ji is really a great man. And I would like to extend my heartiest congratulations to Fali Nariman ji, recipient of the 19th Lal Bahadur Shastri National Award for Excellence in Public Administration 2018. This meritorious award, as was said earlier, was instituted in 1999 and seeks to honor exceptional business leaders, management practitioners, public administrators, educators, and or institution builders for sustained individual contribution and achievements of higher professional order and excellence. I cannot think of a human being more worthy of this year's award than Sri Fali S. Nariman. It's a pleasure to be here today on this momentous occasion and to present this well-deserved award to the illustrious recipient. Sri Lal Bahadur Shastri ji was an exemplary leader. His humility, courage, determination, integrity, and moral uprightness were legendary. This great son of India has always been a source of inspiration to me. His mantra of Jai Jawan and Jai Kisan has become the philosophy of my own life. I come from rural area, from an agriculture family. National development depends on the common man's well-being, the farmer's well-being, the soldier's well-being. For poverty anywhere is a threat to prosperity everywhere. I'm also happy that later Jai Vignan also was added by another great son of this great country, former Prime Minister Sri Atal Bihari Vajpayee. So Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan and Jai Vigyan. Science is for the betterment of the human lives. Born in Mughal Sarai in Uttar Pradesh, Shastriji has understood the implications of poverty, hardship from a tender age. He was 11 years old when Mahatma Gandhi's denunciation of Indian princes for their support to British rule in India moved him. He also took part generously in the salt satyagraha and made a name for himself, so much so that when Congress came to power, he was called upon to play a crucial role in building the new India. He moved to New Delhi in 1951 and held several portfolios in Indian cabinet, that of railways, transport, communication, commerce and industry. At every stage of his life, he demonstrated strength of character. His resignation from the post of railway minister after the Ariyalur, Tamil Nadu train accident in 1956 in Tamil Nadu, where more than 100 people died, is an unforgettable gesture. The then Prime Minister, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, speaking in Parliament on the incident, praised Lal Bahadur Shastriji's integrity and moral standing. He said he was accepting the resignation not because Lal Bahadur Shastriji was in any way responsible for what has happened, but because it would set an example. It will set an example in constitutional propriety for centuries to come. In 1964, post Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru's death, Shastriji was vested with the responsibility of ensuring continuity in India's journey towards progress. It was by no means an easy assignment, but Shastriji did not disappoint. He assumed responsibility with considerable ease and elegance. He had great clarity of his vision and even greater conviction in the capacity of his beloved nation to beat all odds and survive. His 19-month-old tenure as the Prime Minister was extremely eventful. Displaying grand leadership, he helped India's plot a course through what was probably its most testing and turbulent times post-independence. He initiated India's biggest food revolution to address hunger by promoting the Green Revolution and the White Revolution. It is said that this benevolent leader even managed to convince people to give up one meal a day so that more food could reach the needy. Such was his acceptance among the public. Many of the people, large number of people, gave up one meal and followed the Shastriji's advice. He understood the language of their emotions and they readily reciprocated. His crowning glory, his true moment of achievement, was leading in India in the 1965 war against Pakistan. It was the period of turbulence and uncertainty. Shastriji's cool-headed leadership was what came to India's aid. Shastriji's modus operandi of ample consultation with the military leadership as well as parliament and cabinet, not to mention his party colleagues, paid off. His decisiveness and firm conviction enhanced the image of India in the eyes of the world leaders. I was too small and people used to say Lal Bahadur Shastriji because he is not of that height. So in our language, local language, people used to say Pottivadu. Pottivadu means short man. But Gattivadu, that means a strong man. That is the, in our villages and all my life through, we used to hear that. Pottivadu, Gattivadu. And anybody is like that. People say, like Shastriji is also Pottivadu and Gattivadu. That is how he has exhibited his capacity and character. His decisiveness and conviction enhanced the image of India in the eyes of the world leaders. He was an ardent believer in the power of freedom. He spent a decade in prison because he resolutely held on to his principles and to his love for freedom and his nation. He gave up formal education and followed his leader, Mahatma Gandhi, into struggle for independence through passive resistance against the British. Shastriji had truly earned his place in the hearts of his people. Teachings of Mahatma Gandhi led him forward throughout his life. Hard work is equal to prayer. He once said, Lal Bahadur Shastri is a personification of the best of India's character. Even after 52 years of his demise, we still remember him for his values, commitment, courage, and also dedication. What made Shastriji a unique politician was the fact that he did not have two sets of principles, one for public consumption and the other for personal life. you would be surprised to know that he got a code of conduct established for those who are in public life. I feel it's very much necessary even today, more necessary and more relevant also to have code of conduct for the people in public life, which is lacking. According to the code, every central minister must account to the Prime Minister and the ministers in the provinces to their Chief Minister the nature of their assets. It is fostered an atmosphere of accountability and transparency. It was a move that held many lessons for the posterity. It was from Shastriji that I learned another important lesson of my life, that humility with conviction helps to achieve one's objective in a righteous manner. Being humble does not mean that you lack courage to say what you think. The courage and humility are more complementary than contradictory. And Shastriji's life stands testament to this fact. In spite of being a very humble, he was very tough in taking decisions in the context of national security and national interest. Swami Vivekananda once said, I quote, "Educate and raise the masses, and thus alone a nation is possible." I am glad that Shastriji's vision about the upliftment of masses has been taken forward by the Lal Bahadur Shastri Educational Society that has established the institute that thrives on providing management and IT education which nurtures his value propositions. I admire the mission that Lal Bahadur Shastriji Institute of Management as the very basis of the institute's pragmatic education are deeply embedded moral values and social responsiveness. The Lal Bahadur Shastri National Award for Excellence in Public Administration, instituted by this organization, certainly upholds the vision of Shastriji. I am glad that it values and honors people who have brought about profound transformation in the environment that they exist in. Why this felicitation? Nothing is going to be added to the glory of Father Nariman. The felicitation is to give inspiration to others. Do something good, you will also be felicitated. Because Pratibha Puraskar ये भारतीय समाज का हमारा संस्कृति का एक मुख्य अंग है. That's why I'm very happy when I heard about this award and also that being conferred to a great son of this great country. I'm glad this year award has been given to Father Nariman, whose contribution to judiciary and jurisprudence makes him an individual worthy of awe and administration. All of us know Sri Nariman as an internationally recognized jurist specializing in arbitration. He is one of India's most distinguished constitutional lawyers. He has been bestowed with coveted awards for his contribution to jurisprudence and public affairs. The practice of law is a public service. An officer of the court of law has a certain responsibility to the public at large. Sri Nariman has always served as a role model to the practitioners of law and jurisprudence around the world. He has served this great nation in several capacities as a senior advocate of the Supreme Court of India, as the Additional Solicitor General of India, and as a member of the Rajya Sabha. He has always displayed an impeccable sense of justice, a deep sense of duty and profound concern for his fellow human beings. He is truly an example to be emulated. He displayed his equanimity and detachment to position of power when he resigned from the office of the Additional Solicitor General upon the declaration of emergency. He has always been seen as law as a means to empower the disenfranchised and depressed people of India. Sri Nariman was fearless in the face of adversity and staunchly held on to the principles of justice that he considered to be sacred, much like Lal Bahadur Shastriji himself. He is a scholar, an author, a jurist, and a humanist for excellence. I reiterate that there is no more worthy of this recognition than this pious soul who has selflessly served the Nyaya Devata throughout his illustrious career. I congratulate him once again for this achievement, and I hope the younger generation, particularly from the legal fraternity, we are all seeing the turbulences in the legal fraternity in the recent days, the fall of standards, including in judiciary. And we have seen what has happened in the recent days. Keeping all these things in mind, I call upon all the youngsters, the practitioners of law, to emulate the examples of such great personality. Remember the contribution he has made, on each and every occasion his responses. In the end, I would like to address the young people in the gathering. The society, this institute and your parents have done their best to give you great opportunities in life. It is now your turn to give back. Your goal should be leave the mark of your excellence in whatever endeavor you undertake. To keep in mind the plight of the poorest and the weakest man you have ever seen when you make important decisions. Mahatma Gandhi's advice, Dr. Ambedkar's advice, Deen Upadhyaya's advice is serving the poorest of the poor, taking care of the depressed, oppressed and suppressed people, taking care of the last man in the line. I'm not mentioning about the last man here in this auditorium, but in the society. Uplifting the poorest of the poor, what we call in modern language as Antyodaya. That is the need of the hour. Every section, every profession, every person, in every walk of public life must keep this in mind. Uplifting the poorest of the poor. Because after 71 years of independence, even today, 20% of the people are below poverty line. 22% of the people are illiterate. And still we hear here and there gender discrimination, which is against our ethos and our culture. In our even forefathers, even Vedas, Upanishads also, Maitreyi, Gargeyi, the great woman, they used to come and argue in front of men. Now we are talking of empowering women. And all the great rivers in this country are also named after women. Ganga, Yamuna, Saraswati, Mahanadi, Narmada, Tapati, Mahendra Tanaya. Take any name, all. That was the respect the society used to give to women. So if you see what is happening here and there, even if there are isolated incidents, they are really a national shame. So we should all now go back to our history, to culture, to heritage, to the tradition set up by great people and try to amalgamate the same, as we are also hearing here and there discrimination on the basis of race or caste. I always feel, because now we are talking about Shastriji, that people should be elected and selected on the basis of character, caliber, capacity and conduct. 4 C's. But unfortunately, some people in between try to bring in other 4 C's. What are those 4 C's? Character, caliber, capacity and conduct. Some people brought in now caste, community, cash and criminality. This is an unfortunate state of affairs in certain areas. So when we remember Shastriji, the real tribute is that we must select and elect with people with character, caliber, capacity and conduct, so that they can serve the nation better. That is the inspiration we have to draw. That's why I always feel that the great teachings and preachings of these great people, be it Mahatma Gandhi ji or Jawaharlal Nehru or Lal Bahadur Shastri or Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel or Ambedkar or all these great leaders, their life should be part of Indian history. Unfortunately, nowadays, old days it used to be there when we were students. But nowadays, in most of the history books, these things are not there. Many things are not there, of course. Now, earlier we used to have a PT class, physical training. No physical activity. Lifestyle has changed. Schools and colleges are run in multi-storied buildings. So where is the playground? Second, we used to have a craft class also, craft class. That also is missing now. Then we used to have a gardening class, taking care of the nature. Love and live with the nature. That was the lesson. That is also missing. And then also we used to have moral science classes. Now science remains, morals have gone. So we must revisit our education system and keep these things in the history. The great contributions made by the people, right from the first Prime Minister, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel to Shastriji and so many other great people. Their life really gives inspiration for others. That's why, but unfortunately, one is a colonial mindset. The Britishers have ruined us, not only economically, but also ruined our minds also. And we always thought and we think that they are great and we are inferior. I wonder how we had in history lesson, our books, Robert Clive the Great. How can a person who is an invader, who ruled and ruined us, can be great? Lal Bahadur Shastri the Great, I can understand. Jawaharlal Nehru the Great. Whether you agree with the philosophies of these ideology or parties, but they are great. They have done so much service. They have set standards. And you have so many great people. You have Bhagat Singh, you have Rajguru, you have Sukhdev. You have so many stalwarts in this country. There is no dearth. You have Subhash Chandra Bose. So many people to inspire. They should be part of our history. And those lessons will really inspire the younger generation and provide them proper guidance also. Let the lives of men like Lal Bahadur Shastriji serve as an example for the younger generation. Let their sacrifice grant you inspiration and their teachings give you conviction. I wish you all the best for a bright future. I would like to conclude with an insight I have gained while being part of the movement launched by great Loknayak Jayaprakash Narayan, which I feel will serve as a guiding light to the young people actively involved in the process of nation building. Love for material things should not be the force that drives you forward. Material things, wealth, possessions give you only a fleeting illusion of joy. True happiness lies in service, in making a positive change in someone's life, in providing leadership to initiatives of nation building. That, my dear friends, will give you a true sense of achievement. Share and care is the core of Indian philosophy. Share and care is the core of Indian philosophy. India was once upon a time known as Viswaguru. Students from abroad, they used to come and study here. We must now again rise to the occasion, provide an opportunity. There are now opportunities available. And then we also believed in Sarve Jana Sukhina Bhavantu Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. In spite of all this might and knowledge, we never attacked any country. All Tam, Dick and Harry came and attacked us. Go through the history. India never was an aggressor. So that's our tradition, that's our culture. Keep that in mind, and that is all. Move forward, being inspired by great people. I'm very happy about today's function. And I also have an advice to the people, and also in the public administration, and also to organizations, not to put the short names. I find road in Hyderabad, and also an area in Hyderabad, in Chennai, LB Nagar. Lal Bahadur Shastri Nagar. LB Nagar means, what is LB Nagar? MG Road, Mahatma Gandhi Road. One of the important road in Hyderabad is MG Road. Huh? Then there is also SP Road. I thought the road is named after SP, who might have done something great. No, Sardar Patel Road. So this habit of following I don't know whether it has come from English people of the short, abridged this thing and all. We must have full name. We must tell our children also about Lal Bahadur Shastri. What is this LBSI, this and all? These sort of things should be given up in public life, and we must set examples to all people. I particularly told my people, Sardar Patel Conference Hall. Don't make it SP Conference Hall. This hall I named after Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. Full name. That really gives you inspiration. Once again, I would like to thank Anil Shastriji for giving me this opportunity, and also I would like to thank all the distinguished friends who have all come here. Thank you very much. Namaskar. Jai Hind.